I'm showcasing my top 5 meta loadouts that you should be running after the Season 5 Reloaded update. Starting off the list at number 5, we have the GPR-91, which honestly, I don't see nearly enough people talking about this because close to mid-range, it has the fastest TTK out of all the assault rifles, and it's absolutely perfect for Rebirth Island. So starting off the build, we're going to toss on our optic, which like I always tell you guys, the optics are 100% personal preference, but I'm going to toss on the Otero red dot. Super clean, super easy to use, and the reticle I toss on it makes it even better. Like I said, for the reticle, we're going to slide over to the zombies category and slide all the way to the end for the classic reticle. All you have to do to unlock this is kill 2,000 zombies while ADS with the Otero red dot. Then of course, for the muzzle, I'm going to toss on the monolithic suppressor. If you want to, you could definitely toss on the compensator, but in my opinion, the GPR really doesn't have a lot of recoil, so you really can't go wrong with the monolithic. Keeping you guys off that mini map, but also giving you guys that damage range and that bolt velocity, making sure the build is hitting harder and getting you guys up to 1,008. And mixing in absolutely perfect with the monolithic, we're also going to toss on the gain twist barrel, giving you guys another massive boost for that bolt velocity, getting the build way closer to hit scan. And like I said, the GPR already is super controllable, so just to add on to that, we're also going to toss on the vertical foregrip, giving you guys that horizontal recoil control, making sure the GPR isn't bouncing all over the place. And for the last and final attachment, I'm going to toss on the extended mag 2, increase that mag capacity up to 60, making sure you don't have to reload after every single kill. That's my full build for the GPR-91, so make sure you guys go through, give the entire bit a try and tell me the highest kill game you guys get with it. That's my loaded number 5, so let me get you guys number 4. Next up, loaded number 4, we have the Cypher 91, which in today's update, this did catch a slight small nerf, but we know how they are with the weapon balancing. This thing is still absolutely disgusting. So starting off this build, we're going to toss on the Volsky reflex. The same thing as I was saying before, the optics are 100% personal preference, so you should toss on whatever you feel the most comfortable with. And also, same thing as the Otero, I highly recommend you guys slide to the reticles and toss on this blue dot. It's a little bit smaller than the red dot, and it just makes the Volsky even better. Now for the muzzle, I actually have 2 different Cypher builds, one with gunfighter and one without gunfighter. For the non-gunfighter build, we're going to toss on the compensator, giving you guys a boost for that vertical recoil control, making sure the Cypher is an absolute beam. And since I'm not running the monolithic for the muzzle, we do need a boost for that bolt velocity, so of course we're going to toss on the gain twist barrel, giving you guys a massive boost, getting the build up to 1247. And mixing in absolutely perfect with the compensator, we're also going to toss on the vertical foregrip, because this is going to give us the horizontal recoil control, so the 2 attachments together is making sure the Cypher isn't moving whatsoever. And for the last and final attachment, we're going to toss on the extended mag 2, increase that mag capacity up to 60, making it where you can beam an entire 4 stack if you really need to. But that's my non-gunfighter build for the Cypher 91, so same thing here, make sure you guys go through and test out the build, but if you do want to run gunfighter, let me showcase that as well. So for the gunfighter build, what we're going to do is we're going to swap out the compensator and toss on the monolithic, and then we're going to slide down to the rear grip and toss on the quick draw grip, making it where the build is extremely snappy. Then for the stock, I'm going to toss on the combat stock, giving you guys that flinch resistance and that aim walking movement speed, but I do know a lot of you guys are playing Rebirth, so you really can't go wrong with this or the balance stock. And for the last and final attachment, since we swapped out the compensator for the monolithic, we're going to go to the fire mods and toss on the recoil springs, giving you guys both horizontal and vertical recoil control, still making it where the Cypher is an absolute beam. I know a ton of people don't like to run gunfighter in BO6 Warzone, but if you do, these are the 8 attachments that I would run for the Cypher 91. And in that number 3 spot, we have the ABR A1, which you guys know this thing has been extremely broken. It's still super good even after the nerf today, but it just came down my list a little bit. So starting off the build, we're going to toss in the RNK multi-zoom. Like I always say, the optics are 100% personal preference, but I genuinely believe that the RNK multi-zoom is by far the best optic for the ABR. And of course, if you do toss on the RNK, I highly recommend you slide to the reticles and toss on this green dot. It's super clean, super easy to use, and honestly, the default reticle is awful. Then for the next attachment, we're going to toss on the monolithic suppressor, giving you guys the exact same pros and cons of keeping you off that mini map, but also making sure the ABR is hitting harder and getting the build way closer to hit scan. And speaking of getting closer to hit scan, we're also going to toss on the gain twist barrel, giving you guys another massive boost for that bolt velocity, getting the build up to 1444. And since we're already stacking the gain twist with the monolithic, we're also going to slide down to the fire mods and toss on the overpressured ammunition, giving you guys even more of a boost, getting the build up to 1733. And for the last and final attachment, we're going to toss on the extended mag 2, increase that mag capacity up to 60, which this is going to make it to where you basically never have to reload. That's my full build for the ABR A1, and still one of the best assault rifles in the entire game. So if you guys haven't already, go through, give the entire bit a try and tell me the highest kill game you guys get with it. But I do also have a gunfighter build. If you guys want to run the gunfighter ABR, these are the 8 attachments that I would run. Pretty much the exact same build as my 5 attachment build. We're just going to add on the vertical foregrip, quick draw riser, and the combat pad. Not a super noticeable difference, but also a very good build. And loaded number 2, we have the C9, aka the MP5, which same thing as the Cypher and the ABR. This did catch a nerf today, but it's still the best SMG in the entire game. So starting off the build, we're going to toss on the long barrel. Like I always tell you guys, you really can't go wrong with the long barrel or the reinforced barrel. I've tested it out with both, and I just think that the long barrel is by far the best option. Then for the under underbarrel, you guys know on most of my SMG builds, I like to toss on the Ranger foregrip, but the MP5 is a little bit different because we're going to toss on the vertical foregrip, giving you guys a boost for that horizontal recoil control, which in my opinion is making it to where the build is just way more consistent. And since we're not running the Ranger foregrip, we do need to speed up the build a little bit. So we're going to toss on the ergonomic grip for our rear grip, giving you guys that dive to fire speed, slide to fire speed, ADS speed, and that jumping ADS speed, making the build faster in every possible way. And like I was saying with the barrel, it is the exact same thing with the stock. You really can't go wrong with the no stock, infiltrator stock, or even the balanced stock. I personally like the infiltrator stock the most, giving you guys that aim walking movement speed, making it to where you're unguardable mid gunfight. And for the last and final attachment, I'm going to toss on the extended mag 2, increase that mag capacity up to 50, making it to where you don't have to reload after every single kill. Like I said, still the best SMG in the entire game, even after the nerf today. So make sure you guys go through and test out this build as well. Let me get you guys loaded number 1. And in that number 1 spot at the top of the list, we have the Kilo 141, which if you guys didn't see, caught a pretty noticeable buff today. And now it's absolutely disgusting. So starting off the build, of course, like I keep saying over and over, the optics are 100% personal preference. We're going to toss on the Volsky reflex. In my opinion, it's super clean, super easy to use, and it has like no visual recoil. Then for the muzzle, just like every other build on the list, we're going to toss on the monolithic suppressor, doing the exact same thing by keeping you guys off that mini map, but also giving you guys that bullet velocity and that damage range, make it to where the Kilo is hitting harder, and getting the build up to 1086. Now for the barrel, you literally cannot go wrong with the gain twist or the reinforced barrel, and I honestly believe it does come down to personal preference. The reinforced barrel is super nice, getting that damage range boost on top of the damage range buff today, but if you want to, you can toss on the gain twist barrel, because this is going to get the build up to 1629. I think overall meta build wise, I am going to go reinforced barrel, and then for the underbarrel, we're going to toss on the vertical foregrip, giving you guys that horizontal recoil control and that recoil stabilization, making it where the Kilo isn't moving whatsoever. And for the last and final attachment, we're going to toss on the extended mag 2, increase that mag capacity up to 60, which in my opinion is more than enough ammo, but if you want to, you can definitely toss on the extended mag 3. That's my full build for the Kilo 141, which after the update today is the best assault rifle in the entire game. So make sure you guys go through and test out this build as well, but I do actually have some honorable mentions. For my first honorable mention, right outside of my top 5 list, we have the Kompakt 92, which even before the update was the fastest killing SMG in the entire game, and then it caught a buff today, making it even better. So starting off the build, we're going to toss on the compensator. As you guys know, the Kompakt has a ton of recoil, and this is going to make it to where it's not bouncing all over the place. And speaking of not bouncing all over the place, we're also going to toss on the Ranger foregrip. If you want to, you can definitely toss on the vertical foregrip, but in my opinion, the Kompakt does lack some mobility. So not only is it going to make it to where you're even more accurate, it's also going to make it to where you're faster on the map. And making you even faster around the map, we're also going to toss on the balance stock. If you want to, you can definitely toss on the balance stock, infiltrator stock, or even the no stock. I just think it feels the absolute best with the balance stock, giving you guys that aim walking movement speed, hip fire movement speed, and that strafing movement speed, just making you guys a whole lot faster. Now sliding back to the barrel, we're going to toss on the long barrel. Like I was saying on the MP5, you really can't go wrong with the long barrel or the reinforced barrel. The same thing here. I just think that the long barrel is by far the best option. Did you guys know the Kompakt has a ridiculously fast fire rate? So we have to toss on the extended mag 3, getting the mag size up to 60, because even with this, you're reloading after every single kill. But that's my full build for the Kompakt 92. So make sure you guys go through, give the entire bit a try, and tell me the highest kill game you guys get with it, because I promise, close range, you are not going to lose a gunfight. And for my second honorable mention, we have the CR56 amax, another weapon that did catch a buff today, and we're going to build it just like every other build. So for the optic, we're going to toss on the Volsky reflex. Like I was saying a second ago, super clean, super easy to use, and it has like no visual recoil. Then for the muzzle, if you want to, you could definitely toss on the monolithic suppressor. Before the amax, I actually like to toss on the compensator, giving you guys that vertical recoil control and that recoil stabilization, making to where the amax isn't bouncing all over the place. And just to mix in perfect with the compensator and make it to where the build is even more accurate, we're also going to toss on the vertical foregrip, giving you guys that horizontal recoil control. So this with the compensator is making to where the build is an absolute beam. Then for the barrel, I've tested out the amax with the gain twist, long barrel, and the reinforced barrel, and I just think that the gain twist feels the absolute best, giving you guys a massive boost for that bolt velocity, getting the build up to 1320. And of course, for the last and final attachment, it is 100% personal preference. I'm going to toss on the extended mag 1, getting our mag size up to 45, but if you want to, you can definitely toss on the extended mag 2. That's my full build for the CR56 amax, which like I said, also caught a buff with today's update. So make sure you guys go through and test out this build as well. Let me showcase everything else that I'm running. Since I'm showcasing my loadouts in every single gameplay, you guys see me with a smoke grenade and an impact grenade. And then for my perks, I run Mountaineer, Quick Fix, and Tempered. So make sure you guys go through and test out the entire list and test out this stuff as well. But that's it for the video.